Jason at Canyon Adventure Vans, and today I'm going to do an install video on our new CTB. That is the console table bracket. This is our latest and greatest console table bracket. Heavy duty steel, powder coated, corner brace to lock it into the corner of your Sprinter seat base, adjustable areas for your slim Lagun bracket. You can mount it on either side or side to side based off of how far you put your seat, how big your console table is, a bunch of different options here. So this thing is super solid. But today you're going to see a couple videos. One, we're going to have a video on how to do it in the Rebel, how to do it in the Storyteller. Today we're doing a crew van. So on a crew van, the seat bases are a lot taller than the ones in our Rebel and Storyteller, and the ones that you would see on a Jayco and Integra as well. So our holes that we pre-drilled on our CTB was meant so you can slide this right in here. It lines right up and you bolt it into the existing holes, the OEM holes on the seat base. On the, which is about right here, right where my two fingers are. On the crew van, the holes are up a lot higher, so this wouldn't work. If I tried to mount it here, I wouldn't be able to spin my seat around, and it would be crooked as well, so it's not very straight up there. So it'd be a real hard time sliding the seat back. This part would actually hit here. So what we're going to do is this installation video will show you how to do it start to finish, and it's pretty quick. It's pretty easy. So here are all the tools you will need. You will need a drill. You can use a 1/4-inch drill bit. I like this the best. In our kit that we provide you, that out of the way, you're going to have a couple of hex wrenches to tighten things up. You have the plus nut. This is a plus nut. We're going to use 2 of these. We already pre-installed one on here. This is the little tool you'll need to insert the plus nut. You'll have 2 bolts and 2 washers that bolt the CTB to the thing, to the corner base, and then you're going to have 3 optional self-tapping screws that I haven't used, nor do I think I'll ever need, but we provide them in case you need that really extra support in your CTB. So far in 8 months of having this system in our vans, I've found no need for extra holes to screw it in here. But they're available for you. That there might be some people that are abusive and put a lot of heavy things on their tables and need that extra support. So that's an optional self-drilling screws there. You're also going to need the step bit, which is this right here. We provide this as well. So if you have to drill holes, like we're not going to use these factories, so you're going to need to have at least, 3/8, 1/4-inch drill bit that you can pre-drill the holes first, and then you'll go back in with the 1/2-inch step bit. Alright, so let's get started. So you see all the wrenches. We got 11/16, we have a 1/2-inch, we have a 7/16, we got a punch here for drilling, and then a Sharpie. And what I want to do is, let me get this out of the way, I need to make a line that goes right down the middle of these 2 OEM holes in your seat base, because this is what's going to keep this thing plumb, okay? So I'm going to come in here, and if you already have a seat base here that spins around, then you can put your square right on there and then just draw a line down. I only have this area to square up on, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark the center of this hole. Just like that. Okay, now I'm going to take this square, I'm going to push down on top where it is flat up there, and you can see it's lined up right here with these holes, and I'm going to find that center mark. Okay, make sure I push flat, just like that. Find that mark that I just made, that I just lost. So again, you can tell that's my tester. I'm right at the edge of those holes, so I know that that's square. I'm going to back it off a little bit and find that mark, and I want to make a mark right here on this seat. And that needs to be, and that's my plumb mark, okay? So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put this bracket on here, and I'm going to rest it right on this, right on your floor base. So I'm just going to rest it right on there. That's going to give me my right height. And then I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to take my marker. I don't know if you can see this, but the 2 holes that are in our CTB, I'm going to mark where they're at. So that's going to give me my height. I'm going to pop this off, and you can see my 2 holes. Okay? So now I'm going to take my punch, and I'm going to line that up with this line. Here's my plumb line. We already checked that. It goes all the way straight down. Let me remark it so you can see it on the camera. Right there. I don't know if you can see that. And then I'm going to line up, and then I'm going to use my punch. I don't want to punch where that is. I want to go the right height and punch it right into my line right there. Do that a couple times. Same thing down here. This just assures when I start drilling that I'm not going to, I'm going to double check one more time and put this on here and mark it, because I'd rather measure twice and cut once. So we'll do that one more time. Yep. Alright, so I'm good. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to take my drill. I'm going to find that little mark I had right there, and I'm going to drill this out. And just so you know, we've already looked at all these vans, we've taken pictures, and anything from here over, we're completely clear, so you don't have to worry about hitting anything. If you were to drill right here, you would hit a bunch of important stuff inside your seat base. So you're fine. All right, so once you got those 2 holes done, pop this off. Now I'm going to use my step bit. And I want to take this and pull that all the way out. Just like that. Same thing here. And that's it. Alright, so I'm done with the drill bit. I'm done with the bits. It's out of the way. So now what I want to do is I want to come in here and vacuum all this up. What we don't want is any shavings laying around, because this is the fastest way to have rust in your van, okay? So let me get this vacuumed up, and then we'll get this going. Okay, now that we got everything vacuumed up, now it's time to move on and get our plus nut installed in these 2 holes here. Alright, so here now you have your plus nut, and then this is a little tool that we use to insert into the seat base, okay? So you're going to slide this right in here like that. You're going to use your 11/16 wrench, and we're going to use gravity to help us. So that's just going to be like that. Then I'm going to take my half-inch ratchet, and I'm going to start cranking on this. And I'm again going to I'm going to push in. Going to hold that ratchet down. And if you wanted to put your half-inch socket on your impact wrench and do it the easy way, you can do that as well, but I'm going to show you the hard way, because a lot of people might not have these tools, but they will have a ratchet and a wrench. So you can see as I'm tightening it, it gets a little more stable. And that's that plus nut working and pinching. And you'll see in the video in the top right hand corner at some point I'm going to did a little example to show you how this works so you can understand it. So that's it. Now I'm going to start cranking on this, tightening up. And basically it's squeezing and pinching this metal right here. And then now it's starting to get tight. I don't want to overdo it, but I also want to get it nice and snug so that plus nut never spins on us when we're tightening down the CTB. Okay, now I'm going to back that off. Now I can take this out and then we'll do the same thing for the other plus nut. And that's it. So this is already in there. Now we'll do the same thing. This slides in. Tighten this up. Okay. Do the same thing. Let gravity push this down. Now I'm going to push in and start tightening away. The first couple turns are difficult, but then you'll start feeling it start stabilizing because it's starting to pinch. And then it gets really easy. Don't stop there because it's not enough, so you want it to be pretty tight. There we go, now it's starting. Beautiful. Okay, back that off. We're almost done. Now we just take this out. You're done with this. You can save it for another project someday. And then now we're going to take our CTB and get it mounted. Now you notice how this is loose. So this corner bracket is meant to, after we get this on here and getting it straight and bolted down, then we'll adjust this so it hits nice and tight on here, okay? So I'm going to set that on here. I'm going to take my bolt and washer. I'm going to run it through here and get the bottom one started first. Let's get this cranked down, tighten it up a little. Don't get it all the way tight, but just get it halfway on there. Okay, do the same thing over here. I can push this right up against the Sprinter base. Okay, I'll hand tighten it first, get it close to where I want it. And then now what I want to do is make sure that it's nice and plumb. I don't want it leaning where that when we put our Lagun on here, this table is going to lean. So I could also come back here if you have a square floor. You can put this on here. Look at that. It's absolutely perfect. So nice and square to the floor. Okay, so I like where that's at. Now I'm going to go ahead and crank it down. I got room to play over here with my brackets here. So now we're going to tighten these, and I like to go back and forth, kind of snug one up, go to the top, tighten that one up. You don't want to over tighten where you snap the bolt, but you also want it nice and tight and snug up there, so kind of give it a good feel. You'll know when it's about ready to max out. Then I go top to bottom. This thing is solid. Okay, so that's it. It's bolted on there. Now I'm going to go and bolt this corner brace on. tighten that up, get it to exactly where I want it. You're going to use this hex wrench here, okay? And then you're going to use your 7/16, and that's going to be back here. So I'm just going to hold it, put this hex wrench in here. We'll loosen this real quick, make sure there's enough play. Loosen this bottom one, make sure there's good play there. Now I'm going to try to push this all the way so it just hits this base. Okay, that's good there. Now I'm ready to crank it down. Okay, same thing on the bottom, that's nice and tight. And this little corner brace just gives it a lot more extra support. We ran this prototype for about 8 months in our van without this brace, and it definitely had a lot more play before we added it. So this was kind of an afterthought on our prototypes, and I'm glad I stuck with it, because it definitely makes a world of difference. So I'll snug that all up, get that tight, and then we're done. All we got to do is add a table, a Lagun to it, and then now you have complete CTB bolted down to your crew van. Here's those 3 self-tapping screws that we talked about. If for some reason you ever felt you needed those, they're 5/16. You can use these self-drillers and tap that right into the corner. But I will tell you from my experience in our 3 vans, and probably over 30,000 miles now using these, I don't think you need that. So, but we wanted to make that an option for you guys. So there you go. Again, you can adjust this where you want. Put it on this side if you like. This driver is really tall. I think he's 6'5", but this is going to be plenty enough room for him. And then we'll go put a Lagun on here and a Skinny 2.0 and show you what that looks like. But this is the new CTB, brand new for 2023. Super solid, made out of heavy duty steel, powder coated. And it's pretty easy install.